Hello, and welcome to our Symposium on Emotional Intelligence. I'm Spencer Barlow, MBA student at Ottawa University, taking the class of Emotional Intelligence in the Workplace from Dr. Brian Forsyth. Today we'll be talking about empathy and social responsibility. So, as we have continued to go on in this class, we focused on Baron's 15 emotional competencies. We've already covered self-regard and self-awareness. Today we'll be talking again about empathy and social responsibility. So let's get into those as defined. Empathy is our ability to be aware of and understand how others feel. Social responsibility is our ability to identify with social groups, among friends, at work, and in the community, and to cooperate with others in a constructive and contributing manner. Empathy and social responsibility have a lot of overlap. Those that have a high social responsibility competency also typically have a high empathy competency. First, we're going to jump into empathy. So let's try to define empathy by contrasting that against sympathy. Empathy is feeling the same emotions as the other person, actually knowing what they are going through. While sympathy is feeling sorrow or concern for the other person. They might not understand it themselves, but they know somebody else is going through something. Maybe a better way is depicted by this cartoon. On the empathy side, the person is saying, I feel your pain. While on the sympathy side, it's more an attitude of, I'm sorry that you are in pain. For a better video on YouTube, check out the link below. Now let's get into empathy a bit further defined. It is central to social awareness, and it helps us to become dependable, responsible, and loyal group members. It is considered to be among the essential building blocks of emotional intelligence construct. So let's take empathy to the extremes. Someone who has a lack of empathy is aggressive, antisocial, and demonstrates psychopathic behaviors. They are psychopaths and even murderers. Now, those that are overly empathetic are weak leaders. They are those that do not address unacceptable behavior or approach making difficult decisions. So empathy and leadership. There was a study done among entrepreneurs, and if they could identify signs that led to better leaders. So empathy is the most important predictor of leadership emergence, according to this study. It is indeed more important than cognitive ability, and also more important than complex task performances, both of which are important skills, but empathy was found to be even higher as a leadership predictor. So here are the leadership benefits of empathy. A leader who has empathy becomes more successful at motivating and leading employees and at helping employees cope with workplace stresses. They have a better or more attuned to their customers' wants and achieve higher customer satisfaction. They also become more innovative. So here are some of the takeaways that I have on empathy. Understanding how others feel is really powerful. And it's not merely sympathy or knowing about someone's emotions, but actually feeling what they feel. And empathy really is essential for building relationships, as it becomes the foundation for really understanding someone else and being able to create that relationship of trust. So let's move on to social responsibility. Social responsibility, further defined, is a concern for others, and they take on group and community-oriented responsibilities. They do things for others and with others, they follow their conscience, and they uphold social principles. Essentially, it's doing the right thing as defined by that social group. So social responsibility at the extremes. Lack of social responsibility is those that tend to develop antisocial attitudes. They act abusively towards others and they take advantage of others. Now, at the other extreme, where you have excessive social responsibility, they're they who are paralyzed by fear of doing something wrong or being offensive. And they do not defend personal principles or values contrary to that of the group. Social responsibility in leadership. This is a study done among consumer good companies in Vietnam as they studied leaders and their subordinates and how they adopted social responsibility. So they found that they achieved social responsibility when leaders and subordinates work together toward creating emotionally caring relationships with other stakeholders. The leaders became more open to upward influence from their subordinates, and subordinates became more inspired and motivated to exert upward influence to their leaders. Here's some of the benefits of social responsibility in leadership. It increases social awareness. It also increases empathy towards others. As we stated before, empathy and social responsibility have quite a bit of overlap. Also, there's an increased awareness of organizational level currents, decision networks, and politics. And there's an increase of service to others. And here are some of my takeaways on social responsibility. It brings awareness of social values and principles. It also provides the influence landscape that a leader needs to know so that they know who the decision makers are and how they can influence others and who they should influence. And also it generates positive group dynamics as everyone has the shared values and goals to move forward as a team. So that's it for my presentation today. Here are my references of the studies that I enjoyed, and thank you for joining me today for my presentation on this emotional intelligence symposium.